The Envoy, the first ship to land on Mars, brought back no survivors. 25 years later, the Champion was sent to rescue a man from the foreign planet, Valentine Michael Smith. Born on Mars during the Envoy mission and raised by Martians, Smith is a stranger to all human customs, such as money and power, two things he ironically has a lot of. Smith is entitled to a large inheritance and owns his home planet Mars. This makes him dangerous in politics, and Secretary General Joseph Douglas is sure to keep him in the hospital under close top-secret care. But Ben Caxton, the famous go-getting reporter of the time, believes that he must save Smith from captivity, and has Jill, a nurse, help him out. After gaining the Martian Man's trust, Jill disguises him as a nurse and the two run away. Meanwhile, Ben is kidnapped by the government for being too nosy. Jill is in trouble. After discovering that Mike Smith has special powers that made two angry police officers disappear into nothingness, she goes to Jubal Harshaw, a famous and individualistic doctor/lawyer/writer. He helps them out, and Mike eventually memorizes most of the books in Jubal's library. He learns a lot about the human ways, but does not grok or fully understand it all. He spends most of his time swimming in a pool, which he finds as a sacred act, for all water is holy on Mars. The police invade the home to arrest the group, but Jubal finally reaches Douglas and convinces him to meet and discuss the situation. He also requests that Ben be released. Nobody gets arrested. During the meeting, Jubal uses everything he knows about law to let Mike be free of the ownership of Mars. Also, he gets Douglas to agree to take care of all of Mike's finances. Mike wants to learn more about religion and goes to the Fosterite church with Jubal and Jill. Greeted by football players and strippers, the three examine the commercialized religion. Eventually, Mike is threatened by Digby, the supreme bishop, and makes him disappear. Mike decides to go and see more of the world to understand it better. He takes Jill along. The two create a magic act with Mike's powers but are unsuccessful. They meet Patty Paiwonski, a Fosterite lady covered in tattoos who believes that Mike is a prophet. Jill starts learning Martian from Mike, both the language and the telepathic powers. Mike begins to understand sexual desire and humor, two things that separate humans from Martians. He believes that he knows enough to found his own religion, the Church of All Worlds, which is similar to the Fosterite religion. It focuses on free sex and developing a Martian culture. Mike creates the ninth circle of people in the cult-like church. They all live together, rarely wear clothes, and frequently engage in group sex. When Ben and Jubal visit, they are disturbed by their philosophy, but eventually accept and embrace it. Meanwhile, Mike's church is being persecuted, for Mike tells everybody, "Thou art God." The church is burnt down, but everybody is saved. Eventually, an angry mob collects outside of Mike's church and kills him. Mike enters heaven and watches over his friends. Thus, the story ends.